Welcome to the Human Being Unleashed podcast, where we redefine, realign, and reimagine what it means to be human so that you can live a life with the health, wealth, and relationships that are inherently yours. I hope you've been enjoying the last couple of weeks. Well, not couple of weeks. It's been maybe about 8 weeks, I believe, of straight interviews. I've really enjoyed that because, one, I got to meet some amazing people. But two, my mind got to get open to a lot of brand new, interesting ideas. And some of the ideas dramatically expanded upon. And I honestly cannot wait for you guys to see the other interviews that I have lined up for you guys. It's just going to get more and more exciting. So with all that being said, I wanted to come on here and have a solo episode with you and share something that was on my mind. And I think it's really important that we talk about it because I feel like not many of us do, or a lot of us have a misunderstanding. And this is a big mistake also that I see a lot of people making, especially in my line of work, is trying to logically overcome an emotion. Logically overcoming an emotion. And when you're trying to logically overcome an emotion, what just happens over time is you intensify the exact emotion that you're trying to overcome. Because emotions are not meant to be overcome. And not only that, but emotions themselves are literally not logical. They are the complete opposite of logical. And you cannot logically step outside of your emotional body in any way, shape, or form. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I saw, somebody talking about a very, well-respected entrepreneur who I still, really respect him, and I really like a lot of the work he does. But talking about how to not make any decision emotionally, and how making decisions emotionally in business and in life are exactly the reason why people fail. And I totally get this and I understand this, especially coming from a household where, it was like weak if we cried, right? And if we cried, that was seen as weak. So we grow an idea that we can somehow, some way keep emotions away by putting on some rational facade, right? And I'm not saying that rationality does not have its place, because rationality, when used the correct way, which we can totally have an entire episode about that, rationality being used the correct way. But when it's used the correct way, it's actually very helpful. But many of us, we use it in a way that it's not designed to. And one of those ways that we use it is trying to logically overcome our emotional self. You can never overcome your emotional self. And the reason why is because life itself is a feeling. Life is all feeling, if you think about it. All life is feeling. Pay attention to your body right now. You'll notice there's a feeling. Even without thinking, there is a feeling there. Even feeling numb is a feeling, because you cannot not feel. Just by being alive, you feel. So with that being said, it's an absolute truth when I say your emotional world rules your decision-making world. Whether you like it or not, every single time. Your emotional world rules your decision-making world. Whether you like it or not, every single time. Here's how our minds basically work. Patterns of thought are byproducts of a group of ideas held as core beliefs, aka one's way of basically perceiving the world. And all beliefs are created during emotional experiences, which makes a belief literally physically imprint the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. These imprints or these beliefs create thought patterns that then lead to our emotional patterns. And when I say all beliefs are created emotionally, what I mean by that is when you are born, there is not logical thought there. There is not critical factor. You do not have critical faculty. You are not able to consciously think, right? You are entirely subconscious when you're born. You are entirely subconscious, which means you are an emotional being. You cry out when you need to communicate. You express yourself through your emotional self, through your emotional expressions, through your body language, which is also a direct mirror of your emotional body. So whenever you're young, you're not born with belief systems. You're born and then your mind is kind of treated like a garbage bin by society, and they throw their own ideas and their own beliefs into that subconscious emotional mind that will then accept that idea emotionally, ingraining the subconscious, causing a core belief, a way of seeing the world. That's one way beliefs are created. The second way beliefs are created is through your interpretation of your environment. For example, one of my clients, she was struggling with her confidence in her business. She was undercharging in her business. She was not asking for invoices when the invoices were due. Her accounts receivable was just growing and growing and growing. And she was letting her clients walk all over her, get extra deliverables that they did not pay for. And she just, had a lot of fear around this entire thing of standing up for herself and really, really communicating the way that she wanted to powerfully in business. She was good at it in other areas of her life, but just not in business, which was really interesting, right? So she could have easily tried to logically overcome that. But thankfully she didn't. And during our session, what we saw was that at 5 years old, she was the last girl to get picked up from school. All of her friends left. All the kids left. It was just her and the teacher, and it was getting dark. My client at 5 years old in that moment told herself that she was not important. She told herself that my mom forgot about me. That must mean I am not important. Was that true? Absolutely not. But to her 5-year-old mind, that seemed 100% true. So she emotionalized, internalized that decision. And then she normalized it, making it true for her. So if you feel like you're not important, then what's the point of speaking up for yourself in your business? What's the point of asking for your pay when it's time due? What's the point of being stern if you're not important, if your needs don't matter? Why? It doesn't matter. Might as well let people walk all over you. Do you see how emotionally we actually are? We are emotional beings, and there is no way that you can get around that. I don't care how logical you are. I don't care how left brain you are. You still got a right brain. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about that other than pay attention to your emotional life, really tend to your emotional life, and do the things that are necessary for you to flourish emotionally so that you can reach your potential. Because if you think about it, in order to reach your potential, you want to be your absolute best. You want to be your best self. Everybody talks about being their best self. Well, look, and living their best life. Well, in order to be your best self and live your best life, you must feel your best. And to feel your best means I just don't want to be hindered and weighed down by all of these heavy emotions. I just want to be able to feel light and feel free, because when you are not hindered down by the past, when you are grounded here, and when your emotional self is responding accurately, then and only then will you truly experience the life that you want. And remember, your emotional self is coming from your unconscious, your subconscious self, because the subconscious mind is the feeling mind. And one of the absolute best ways to change deep-rooted ways of being and behaving and thinking is to do something called inner child work. It's very simple, but it also kind of just bypasses a lot of people's mind as something productive to do. And the reason why is because it's inner child work, and it sounds like something that's why would I want to do that? But let me tell you, your inner child is absolutely real. And it is probably the most driving part of you that influences every single decision you've made up until this point and every decision you're going to make from this point on. And the reason why is because this inner child self is just the subconscious. Your subconscious literally stops maturing in between the ages of about 5 and 8. So it will stop maturing, meaning you literally have a younger version of yourself. In other words, you're carrying your perspectives from your childhood to today. A lot of people, most people, unless they have revealed, reframed, and released certain belief patterns, certain ways of responding to the world, they're still holding on to these things. And it can be difficult to let them go because a lot of them are unconscious. But it does not have to be difficult letting these things go. There's a lot of things that you can do to actually resolve these things. In fact, I actually put something together. It's 100% free. It's basically an entire self-hypnosis process that is designed to help you meet this inner child part of yourself and do some really deep emotional work that's going to allow you to feel freer, to feel lighter, and make better decisions, perform better, and create better results that you want in your business, your life, your health, wealth, relationships, and everything else that's important to you. And again, I know this sounds crazy, but you don't got to really believe me. I mean, you can just experience it for yourself. And another thing is, this is literally what I do with my clients. And they pay me a lot of money to help them do these kind of things. I help them perform better. But how do I do that? By helping them resolve these deep emotional patterns that they've probably been holding on to for decades or their entire life. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's 100% free. All you got to do is just go ahead and look at the show notes below, and you're going to see there is a link, or you can go to www.rewiremythoughts.com/unshakable. One more time, www.rewiremythoughts.com/unshakable. Or you can just click the link directly in the show notes below, and it'll take you right there. Either way, I hope that you found value in this, and hopefully from this point on, you're going to start paying attention to your emotional life a lot more, because that right there, my friends, is very important. Okay, so with that all being said, if this was a helpful episode for you, and if you did find this episode to be indeed helpful, go ahead and hit me with a review, hit me with a 5-star rating, or whatever rating you feel like I rightfully deserve, right? And go ahead and please share this. If you found some value in this, somebody you care about is going to find value in this too. So go ahead and send this over to somebody that you care about. I would really appreciate that. And of course, the algorithm will as well, which means you are just going to help me help way more people. In other words, you can help me move mankind forward and help more human beings unleash their deepest and truest potential. And please let me know how your experience goes with the unshakable hypnosis process that I put in the show notes below for you. Go ahead and shoot me an email. Let me know how that went. Whenever you download that process, you will get an email directly from me. You can email back that direct email with any kind of feedback. Let me know how your experience went. If you have any questions about your experience, I respond to every single email. So go ahead and you will be able to contact me there. Aside from that, screenshot this episode, post it on your Instagram, tag me, Adrian Moreno 111, and have yourself a beautiful, beautiful day. I am about to go speak on stage in front of a lot of entrepreneurs. This is going to be interesting, so I'll let you guys know how it goes.